The punch landed like a freight train, splitting my lip open before I even saw it coming. Blood trickled warm down my chin, mixing with the sweat that had already soaked my tank top, and I staggered back against the chain-link fence, the metallic tang flooding my mouth. "What the hell, Alex?" my brother Jake roared from the driveway, his voice cracking like thunder over the summer hum of cicadas, because in that split second, as the world tilted, I realized the guy who just clocked me wasn't some random sparring partner, but Marcus, Jake's best friend from college, standing there with gloves laced tight and eyes blazing like he'd been waiting his whole life to throw that hook. I spat a red glob onto the cracked concrete of our backyard in Elmwood, Ohio, the kind of sleepy Midwest suburb where everyone knows your business before you do, and the biggest drama is whose lawnmower drowned out the neighbor's 4th of July barbecue. At 19, I was knee-deep in what my high school coach called the grind, training for a shot at the state boxing qualifiers, pounding heavy bags until my knuckles split and my shoulders screamed, all to prove something to myself that I couldn't even name yet. Jake, 23 and fresh out of his first year at Ohio State, had dragged Marcus home for the weekend, bragging about how his buddy was the star middleweight on the Buckeyes team. "Kid's a beast," Jake had said over burgers the night before, slapping Marcus on the back like they were brothers in arms. I barely looked up from my plate, too busy shoving down the knot in my gut that twisted every time Marcus laughed. That deep, easy rumble that made my skin prickle like I'd brushed against poison ivy. But now, here we were, 3 rounds into an impromptu sparring session Jake had goaded us into after breakfast. "Come on, little bro," he teased, tossing me the gloves with that cocky grin that always made me want to deck him. "Show the champ what Elmwood's got." Marcus had agreed with a shrug, his broad shoulders rolling under a faded Buckeyes tee, dark skin glistening already in the July heat. He was built like a welterweight dream, lean muscle coiling over 6 feet, with a fade haircut sharp enough to cut glass and eyes the color of polished walnut that seemed to see right through you. I'd stolen glances at him all morning, pretending to stretch, hating how my pulse kicked up like I'd chugged a Red Bull. The first 2 rounds were a blur of jabs and footwork, me dancing circles around the bag of a dummy while Marcus shadowboxed nearby, his form poetry in motion, each pivot precise, each hook exploding with controlled fury. Jake refereed from a lawn chair, nursing a beer and yelling pointers like he was Teddy Atlas. "Keep your guard up, Alex. You're telegraphing that right cross like a neon sign." I nodded, breath ragged, ignoring the way Marcus's gaze flicked my way, appraising, almost curious. By round 3, Jake had wandered off to grab more ice from the garage, muttering about the heat wave turning him into a puddle. That's when Marcus stepped into the makeshift ring we'd marked with chalk on the driveway. Gloves up, chin tucked. "Your turn, kid," he'd said, voice low and gravelly, like bourbon over rocks. "Show me what you've got." I lunged first, adrenaline masking the fear gnawing at my ribs. Not just of getting hit, but of him being this close, close enough to smell the clean sweat and cedar cologne rolling off him in waves. My jab snapped out, grazing his shoulder. He countered with a slip and a grin that lit his face like sunrise over Lake Erie. "Not bad," he murmured, circling left. We traded blows, light at first, testing, until I overcommit on a straight right, leaving my jaw exposed. His hook came like lightning, glove connecting with a thud that echoed in my skull. Pain bloomed hot and bright, and as I reeled, tasting copper, time stretched thin. Marcus's eyes widened, gloves dropping as he lunged forward, not to strike again, but to steady me, his hands, big, calloused from years of canvas, gripping my arms like anchors. "Shit, Alex, you okay?" His voice was urgent now, laced with something raw that made my chest ache worse than the split lip. I nodded, dazed, waving him off even as his touch lingered, thumbs brushing my biceps in a way that sent sparks skittering down my spine. Jake burst back then, cooler in hand, ice clinking like alarm bells. "Whoa, what happened?" "Marcus, you go easy on him. He's not you." Laughter in his tone, but Marcus pulled back sharp, face shuddering like a storm cloud rolling in. "Slipped up?" I mumbled, wiping my mouth with the back of my glove, the lie tasting as metallic as the blood. Inside, though, it was unraveling. The secret I'd buried deeper than Grandma's old diaries in the attic. The one that whispered Marcus's name in the dead of night when I lay staring at the glow-in-the-dark stars on my ceiling. We wrapped it up after that, Jake declaring me a warrior, with a bear hug that squeezed the air from my lungs. Marcus clapping my shoulder with a quiet, good heart, man, that echoed louder than any bell. The rest of the afternoon blurred into normalcy. Grilling brats on the back patio, Jake firing up stories from campus about keg stands and co-eds, Marcus chiming in with dry wit that had us all cracking up. But I felt his eyes on me across the picnic table, steady and searching, like he was piecing together a puzzle I didn't know I'd scattered. Dinner was Mom's famous casserole, the four of us crammed around the oak table Dad built before he split when I was 10. Her way of pretending we were still the picture-perfect family from the Christmas cards. She fussed over my lip, dabbing it with a napkin soaked in peroxide that stung like accusation. Boys and their roughhousing, she sighed. Her laugh light but eyes tired. Lines etched deeper since the divorce finalized last fall. Marcus helped clear plates, sleeves rolled to his elbows, forearms corded with veins that made my fork tremble midair. Need a hand? He'd asked, brushing past me at the sink, close enough that our hips nudged. Accidental, sure, but the heat of it lingered like a brand. I muttered a thanks, suds bubbling over my knuckles as I scrubbed harder than necessary, mind replaying the spar. His glove on my face, his hands on my arms, that flicker in his eyes that said he saw more than just a swing and a miss. Jake crashed early, jet-lagged from the drive, leaving Marcus and me on the porch swing with mugs of iced tea Mom had sweetened to toothache levels. Crickets chirped a symphony under the street lamps, fireflies winking like conspirators in the yard. So, Marcus said after a beat, rocking the swing with one long leg. That hook? You felt it, huh? His tone was casual, but there was weight behind it, like he was testing waters deeper than the quarry lake where we used to swim as kids. I chuckled, wincing as it tugged my lip. Yeah, well, lesson learned. Don't drop your guard. He nodded slow, gaze drifting to the stars pricking the indigo sky. Ain't that the truth? Life's full of hooks you don't see coming. But you've got solid fundamentals, Alex. Heart, too. Reminds me of me. Back when I was figuring shit out. His words hung there, heavy with unspoken layers, and I swallowed hard, the tea turning sour on my tongue. Figuring shit out. God, if he only knew the half of it. The crushes on locker room teammates I chalked up to bro admiration. The porn tabs I cleared history on twice a day. The way Jake's offhand fag jokes at the dinner table made me shrink into my hoodie like it could swallow me whole. We talked boxing then, safe ground. Ali's rope-a-dope, Mayweather's shoulder roll, the poetry of a perfect counter. Marcus leaned in as he described a bout from his freshman year, voice dropping conspiratorial, and for a reckless second I imagined leaning closer still, closing the gap, tasting the mint on his breath from the gum he'd been chewing. But Jake's snores rattled from the open window upstairs, a reminder sharp as barbed wire. Gotta crash? I said abruptly, standing so fast the swing creaked protest. Marcus's hand shot out, steadying me again. Third time that day, and our fingers brushed, skin on skin, electric. Night, Alex, he said softly, eyes holding mine a beat too long, like a promise wrapped in shadow. Sleep evaded me that night, sheets twisting around my legs as replays looped. The punch, the catch, the almost touch. By dawn, I was up pounding the bag in the garage. Each thump a exorcism, trying to sweat out the confusion coiling tighter than a boxer's wrap. Jake stumbled down for coffee around 9, rumpled and grinning. Heard you two yapping late. Bonding over bruises. I shrugged, pouring cereal that turned to paste in my mouth. Something like that. Marcus emerged last, hair tousled just so, wearing Jake's old OSU hoodie that hung loose on his frame. Breakfast was pancakes stacked high, syrup pooling sticky, and Jake launched into plans for the day. A hike up to the ridge overlooking the river, manly shit, to cap the visit. I nodded along, but my eyes kept straying to Marcus, who caught them once, twice, his fork pausing midair with a half-smile that made my stomach flip like a mist block. The trail wound steep through oak and hickory, leaves whispering secrets in the breeze off the Ohio River Valley. Jake led, bushwhacking with a stick like he was Daniel Boone reborn, while Marcus and I brought up the rear, boots crunching gravel in uneven rhythm. "You ever think about going pro?" he asked, voice pitched low under the birdsong. I kicked a stone, watching it skitter ahead. "Nah. College maybe if I qualify. It's more escape, you know? Clears the head." He hummed agreement, then quieter. "Mine too. Started after my dad caught me. Well, let's just say family drama hits harder than any glove." The words landed soft, but they cracked something open in me. A fissure where light leaked in, tempting. Caught me. Family drama. Was he saying? No, couldn't be. But the way he said it, shoulders tensing just a hair, made me wonder if the air between us hummed with shared ghosts. We crested the ridge by noon, sprawling on boulders warmed by the sun, sandwiches unwrapped from Mom's foil. Below, the river snaked silver through fields dotted with silos. America stitched in quilted green and gold, beautiful, brutal in its normalcy. Jake hooped, tossing a water bottle like a grenade, but Marcus stayed quiet beside me, knee brushing mine as he shifted. Accidental? Intentional? My heart hammered louder than the falls we'd passed. "Alex," he started, voice roughened by the climb. "About yesterday, that punch. I didn't mean to tag you clean. Just got caught up. You're quicker than I thought." I met his gaze, those walnut eyes pulling me under like undertow. "It's cool." Made me feel alive, weirdly. Pause, charged. Then he laughed, low, genuine. "Yeah, alive's a good word." Jake called us over to snap pics on his phone. Arms slung around our necks in a sweaty bro hug that pressed me flank to flank with Marcus. Click. Smile. Freeze frame of a lie I was living. But in that moment, with his warmth seeping through my shirt, it felt like truth peeking through the cracks. The hike down was easier, gravity on our side, but the pull between Marcus and me grew heavier, unspoken words piling like storm clouds. Back home, Jake fired up the grill again, beers cracking open as dusk painted the sky bruise purple. Mom joined for once, her laughter lighter with company, sharing stories of Jake's toddler tantrums that had Marcus doubled over. I watched from the sidelines, nursing a soda, the scene domestic bliss laced with ache, the family I craved, fractured by secrets I couldn't voice. Night fell sticky, porch light buzzing moths to frenzy. Jake and Mom turned in early, leaving Marcus and me with the dregs of a card game Jake had abandoned mid-hand. Hearts, ironically, we played by lantern glow, shadows dancing on the railings, his fingers deft as he dealt. "You any good at this?" he teased, eyebrow arched. "Better than faking a jab?" I shot back, emboldened by the dark. Laughter bridged us, easy as breathing, until a bad bluff left me exposed. Queen of spades staring up accusing. "Busted," he said, leaning across to tap the card, his arm grazing mine. The contact zinged, and I froze, cards forgotten, pulse thundering in my ears. His eyes darkened, not with anger, but something deeper, recognition, maybe hunger. He pulled back first, slow like he was uncoiling from a clinch, stacking the deck with deliberate care. "Another round?" Marcus asked, voice husky, but I shook my head, mumbling about needing water. Inside, the kitchen light felt too harsh, fluorescent buzzing like judgment as I gulped from the tap, cold shocking my teeth. What was that? The brush of skin, the weight of his stare. It wasn't nothing, couldn't be, but admitting it aloud would shatter the fragile normal I'd built brick by denial. I splashed my face, droplets tracing paths down my neck, and when I emerged, he was gone. Porch empty, swing still swaying faint like a heartbeat. Sleep clawed at me again, fitful dreams of gloves and gates and walnut eyes that peeled me bare. Morning broke with Jake banging pots, hollering for eggs. Marcus was at the stove, flipping them sunny side up with a spatula like he'd done it 1,000 times in 1,000 dorm kitchens. "Chef special," he quipped, sliding a plate my way, our fingers overlapping on the edge, third touch, fourth, each one a spark in dry tinder. Jake shoveled his down, oblivious, rambling about driving Marcus back to Columbus that afternoon. Gotta beat traffic, bro. You coming? Road trip vibes. I demurred, citing a run, truth half-bent, because the thought of 3 hours in the back seat, stealing glances, was torture sweeter than sin. They rolled out around 2, Jake's truck rumbling gravel goodbye, Marcus twisting in the passenger seat for one last wave. Hand raised, smile crooked, eyes locking mine through the dust. Gone. The house echoed empty without them. Mom at her shift at the diner, leaving me to the silence and the bag in the garage. I hit it harder than ever, wraps unraveling as fury and longing bled into each swing. Thud for the secret, crack for the what-ifs. By evening, bruises bloomed purple on my ribs, lips scabbed tight, but the real hurt festered deeper, a hollow where his laugh used to echo. 2 weeks dragged by in Elmwood's humid haze. Training doubles, school registration looming like a guillotine, Jake's texts pinging sporadic, campus parties lit, missed the grill. Marcus's name never cropped up, but I stalked his Instagram anyway, scrolling faceless stories of gym sessions and city lights, heart lurching at each timestamp. Then, Labor Day weekend, Jake announced round 2, Marcus crashing again for the game. Buckeyes versus that sorry Michigan ass. He crowed over the phone. Bring your A game, little bro. We're tailgating like pros. Excitement warred with dread in my gut. A cocktail fizzing volatile. They arrived Friday night, truck piled with coolers and scarlet gear. Jake blasting Hang on Sloopy from the open windows like a victory march. Marcus hopped out first, duffel slung easy, hugging Jake before turning to me. Fist bump that lingered, knuckles pressing firm. Looking sharper, he said, nodding at my frame, and I flushed under the porch bulb, muttering thanks like it burned. Dinner was chaos. Ribs sauce sticky, Mom's coleslaw crisp, Jake dominating air with rival trash talk. Marcus sat across, knee nudging mine under the table once, twice. Accidental? The jolt each time said no, but I shifted away, cowardice cloaking me like fog off the river. Saturday dawned crisp, autumn nipping at summer's heels. Perfect for the drive to Columbus, scarlet scarves whipping from rolled-down windows as we caravanned with neighbors. The stadium thrummed alive, 100,000 strong chanting OHIO. The air thick with beer and bravado. We staked claim on the horseshoes bleachers, Jake leading cheers like a hype man, but Marcus leaned close during halftime, breath warm on my ear over the roar. You ever feel this? Like the whole world's holding its breath. His words vibrated through me, deeper than the bass drum, and I nodded, throat tight. Every damn day. Post-game haze settled euphoric. Buckeyes crushed it, 42-17, and we spilled into a dive bar off High Street, neon buzzing, Block O in the window. Jake pounded shots, flirting with a sorority girl at the bar, leaving Marcus and me nursing drafts at a sticky high top. The jukebox wailed Springsteen, Thunder Road, cutting through the din, and conversation flowed freer with liquid courage. Boxing dreams deferred, small-town suffocation, the ache of loving what you can't say. My old man, Marcus confessed, swirling foam in his glass, kicked me out senior year, walked in on me and my boyfriend from debate club, said I was a disgrace to the family name, Marine vet, you know? Took me 3 states to land in Columbus, crashing on couches till I scraped scholarships. His voice cracked on disgrace, and something in me shattered, mirrored pain, raw and real. I gripped my mug white-knuckled, the bar's clamor fading to a hum. Jake, he jokes about it sometimes, calls guys fairies when they're soft on the field. Laughs like it's nothing. The words tumbled out, dam breaking, and Marcus's eyes softened. Hand covering mine across the scarred wood, bold, brief, but enough to ignite. Not nothing, he murmured. Not to you. Heat flooded my face, pulse sinking to the guitar riff, and for one suspended breath, I didn't pull away. Jake stumbled back then, arm around the girl, slurring invites to after-parties. We bailed early, piling into the truck for the hour-long haul home, Jake snoring shotgun while Marcus and I shared the bench seat, shoulders touching in the dark. His pinky hooked mine once, tentative, and I let it, electric thread weaving through the night. Sunday brunch stretched lazy, mimosas bubbling for Mom's rare day off. But tension simmered under the chatter. Jake teased Marcus about a mystery girl from the bar, oblivious to the way Marcus's jaw tightened, gaze flicking to me apologetic. Nah, man, he deflected smooth. Just the game high. I excused myself mid-meal, claiming a nap, but holed up in my room instead, heart jackhammering as I replayed the hook of fingers, the weight of his confession. Text pinged, Marcus. Roof, 20 minutes. Adrenaline surged, and I slipped out the window like a thief, climbing the oak to our flat garage roof, childhood perch for stargazing and secrets. He met me there, pulling up with athletic grace, settling cross-legged with knees bumping mine. City lights twinkled distant, but up here it was just us, crickets and constellations. Couldn't leave without saying. He started, voice low thunder. That night in the bar. I see you, Alex. The way you hold back like you're dodging shadows. Been there. I swallowed, stars blurring. It's Jake. Mom. This town, it's like quicksand. One wrong step. He nodded, slow. I get it. Took me getting punched out to punch back. You've got the fire. Just gotta light it. His hand found my knee then, steadying, and I covered it with mine, trembling, but there. Silence stretched, charged, until he leaned in, forehead to mine, breaths mingling mint and malt. You're brave as hell already? He whispered, lips brushing my temple featherlight. Not a kiss, but a spark that scorched. We stayed like that till Jake's yell echoed from below. Yo, road warriors, wheels up, pulling us apart reluctant. Descent was clumsy, branches snagging shirts like warnings, but the touch lingered, branded. At the truck, hugs goodbye stretched long. Jake's back slap boisterous, Marcus's quieter, hand lingering on my nape a second too telling. Train hard, champ, he murmured, walnut eyes promising more. Dust trailed their exit, leaving me hollowed, hungry for the next hit. Fall deepened, leaves carpeting Elmwood in crimson regret. Training intensified, club spars thrice weekly, coach barking dig deeper. As I chased that high from the roof, the bar, the almosts. Jake called weakly, voice tinny over dorm walls. Marcus says what's up. Guys killing it in the ring. Each mention twisted the knife, sweet sharp. Then Thanksgiving. Family mandate, Jake and Marcus inbound again. This time with a home game prelude. Anticipation coiled tight as a spring. They arrived Wednesday, truck groaning under turkey paraphernalia. Marcus hauling a pie his mom shipped from Detroit, sweet potato, crust flaky gold. Hugs in the foyer, his body heat a furnace against the chill, and Mom cooed over him like a second son. Feast day dawned frenzied. Kitchen steam fogging windows, Jake on wine duty, me carving bird with hands steadier than they felt. Table groaned laden. Stuffing studded sage, cranberries tart, pie cooling on the sill. Toasts rang. Mom's to new beginnings, Jake's to family first, and Marcus's eyes met mine over the rim, clinking silent vow. Post-meal stupor hit hard. Couch commandeered for football reruns. But Marcus nudged me toward the yard. Walk off the coma? We ambled the block, scarves loose against Indian summer warmth, leaves crunching confessions. Missed this, he admitted, bumping my shoulder playful. Missed you. Heart stuttered bare, bold. Yeah, I echoed, voice cracking boyish. He stopped under the old maple, hand cupping my elbow. Thanksgiving truth. I like you, Alex. More than sparring partners. More than brothers. World narrowed to his face, earnest, illuminated by street lamp halo. I surged forward, clumsy, lips crashing his salt and pie and pent-up storm. He kissed back fierce, hands framing my jaw, then gentled, pulling air from lungs in tandem. We broke gasping, foreheads pressed, laughter bubbling shocked. Was wondering when you'd swing, he teased, thumb tracing my lip scar. Giddiness flooded, effervescent as champagne. Back home, we slipped in separate, flushed phantoms, Jake none the wiser, snoring through credits. Friday's game was fever dream electric, Scarlet Sea roaring. Marcus in the ring at halftime demo. Dismantling a volunteer with grace lethal. Post-victory. Bar hop turned blur. Shots slammed. Dances dodged. Jake peeling off with a buckle bunny. Marcus and I escaped to his motel off-campus. Door clicking shut like fate's lock. No rush, no rip. Just unraveling slow. Shirts shed tentative. Skin mapping new territories in lamplight soft. Touches whispered stories. His scars from old fights. My freckles sun-kissed. We talked till dawn. Tangled innocent. Dreams sinking to breaths. Saturday morning pierced hangovers with winter's first bite. Frost etching motel windows like lace warnings. Marcus stirred first. Arms slung heavy over my waist. His heartbeat steady drum against my spine. Panic flickered. Jake's truck parked 2 blocks over. Oblivious slumber. But Marcus nuzzled my neck, murmuring morning, fighter. And it melted to warmth, illicit gold. We showered tandem, steam veiling mirrors. Soap suds tracing paths down planes of muscle earned in rings apart. No urgency, just discovery. The dip of his collarbone, the constellation of moles on his thigh. Dressed in borrowed sweats too big. To him we raided continental breakfast. Burnt toast and weak Joe. Giggling over burnt edges like conspirators. Jake texted mid-bite. Where TFU? Brunch run. Guilt spiked, but Marcus typed back casual. Gym sesh, meet in 30, and we drove separate, arriving flushed at the diner like nothing shifted worlds. Pancakes stacked, syrup discourse, but under table, ankles hooked subtle tether. Jake rambled bowl games, eyes bleary, while I savored stolen glances. Marcus's fork pause, smile secret shared. Homeward hall hummed tense. Jake shotgun. Me rear with Marcus's duffel between. Fingers brushing clandestine over vinyl. Elmwood reclaimed us Sunday. Gray skies spitting sleet as they loaded up. Porch goodbye stretch taut. Jake's hug bone crush. Mom's Tupperware thrust insistent. Marcus lingered last. Crate of leftovers cover for a quick squeeze. Lips ghosting ear. Text me. Every day. Engine roar faded. Leaving echoes. And I retreated to garage. Bag thumping fury frustrated. Texts flew nocturnal. Memes traded. Voice notes husky with homesick. Dreamt of that kiss. He'd send at 2 a.m. And I'd replay till knuckles bled. Winter gripped Ohio iron-fisted. Snow blanketing Elmwood in hush. Training exiled indoors to the wise musty ring. Coach amped qualifiers prep. Spars bruising badges of progress. But mind wandered to Columbus. Marcus's clips of campus snowmen. Calls laced longing. Christmas loomed fractured. Mom stringing light solo. Jake homebound with finals hangover. He arrived Christmas Eve. Marcus in tow unannounced. Duffel stuffed with gifts. Buckeyes jersey for me. Monogrammed. Broad shoulders filling the doorway like holiday miracle. Surprise, fam. Jake bellowed. But eyes said plot twist shared. Eve unfolded festive. Tree twinkling heirloom ornaments. Mom's lasagna bubbling oven hot. Carol's crooning bing. Gifts unwrapped frenzy. Sweater from her. Weights from Jake. But Marcus's parcel undid me. Leather journal embossed, for your fights. Pages crisp for scribbled dreams. Write the real shit, he whispered aside. Knee pressing thigh under tree skirt. Reciprocated clumsy. A mixtape burned late nights. Springsteen to Sam Smith. Tracks tracing our arc. Jake hooped over gadgets. Oblivious bubble intact. Midnight mass called traditional, church pews packed penitence. Incense curling solemn. Marcus beside. Pinky-linked hymnals. Choir soaring silent night bomb to chaos within. Post-service, hot cocoa steamed mugs on the walk home. Flurries dancing conspirators. Jake crashed post-cocoa. Eggnog slurring snores. Leaving us porch swing bundled blankets. Stars pierced clouds crisp. His head on my shoulder weight welcome. This us? He murmured, breath fogging air. Worth the sneak. I nodded, kissing crown curls, heart full fragile. Every shadow. Holiday stretched syrup sweet. Sledding ridge runs, Jake leading wipeouts, Marcus steadying secret. New Year's Eve bonfire at Quarry Lake. Locals circling flames. Champagne popped illicit. Countdown chimed. Lips met under midnight moon. Brief, breathless. Jake yards away toasting strangers. Resolution whispered. Come out. With me. Promise lodged. Daunting. January thawed tentative. School resuming grind. Community college comp class drudgery. But texts anchored. Marcus is proud of you. After a KO win clip. Jake. Back campus. Sensed shift vague. You seem. Lighter. Bro girl. Deflection easy. Nah, just training. But lie chafed raw. Valentine's dawn sly. Marcus's package innocuous. Candy hearts. Card innocuous to my champ. But Jake intercepted mail. Brow quirking. Secret admirer? Tease lace probe and I snatched it, cheeks incendiary. Mind your beeswax. Suspicion flickered. Fleeting. Spring qualifiers loomed. Elmwood buzz electric. Local paper profiling. The kid with fire. Coach paraded me banquets. Handshakes slick politicians. But spotlights scorch secrets. Marcus drove down incognito. Front row spectator hoodie hooded. Cheers thundering cover for winks. Post-win hug public, bro pat, private squeeze. But cracks spidered. Jake's visits rarer. Texts edged curt. Heard rumors. One pinged April Fool's joke? Or probe? Paranoia nod. But Marcus soothed calls. He's family. He'll get it. Trust teetered. May bloomed betrayal's prelude. Jake home weekend unannounced. Bursting in post-spar. Face thunderous. We need to talk, Alex. Living room ambush. Mom work late. Air thick accusation. Saw your phone buzzing. Marcus. What the fuck, man? Words spilled venom. Late night calls logged. That mixtape glimpsed dorm raid. My best friend? You're gay? With him. Disgust curled lip. Echoing dad's ghost walkout. I froze. Gut eviscerated, exposed. Eviscerated. Jake. It's not. But he cut. Pacing furious. Not what? Sick? Wrong? He's like family, Alex. How long? Rage cracked voice. Hurt hemorrhaging. Since summer. The training. It just happened. Honesty barbed, but truth freer. He recoiled, eyes glassy. You're ruining everything. Him. Us. Door slammed exodus. Truck peeling gravel grave. Marcus arrived frantic. Jake's SOS call cryptic. Kitchen tableau tense. Jake's slumped table. Michelle shocked. Tell him. I pleaded silent. But Jake erupted. You preyed on my brother? After everything. Accusation hurled. Marcus paling. Pray? Jake, it's real. Love, man. Not some game. Plea hung. But Jake lunged. Fists clenched memory of that first hook. Marcus sidestepped. Calm anchor. Not fighting you. Not like this. Jake stormed out, night swallow, leaving wreckage. Marcus enveloped me sofa, arms fortress. He'll come around. He soothed. But doubt seeded betrayal's bitter root. Days blurred isolation. Jake couch crashing avoidance. Mom's worried queries deflected. Training halted, bag idle accusation. Climax crested week later. Regional finals. Crowd expectant. Jake corner no-show, absence gaping. Bell rang, opponent hulking but mind fractured. Jabs glanced, hooks haywire until round 3. Slip, crack. Temple starburst, canvas cold. Ref count blurred, Marcus vaulting ropes illegal, hauling me up roaring. Fight, Alex. For you. Eyes locked, courage transfusion. I rose staggering, final bell flurry felling foe. Win hollow, medallion heavy. Locker room aftermath. Jake lurking shadows, face haggard. Saw it. You didn't quit. Voice rough olive branch. Marcus hovered. Sentinel. Talk. Jake nodded grudging. Words tumbling. Hate this. Hate losing you both. But you're my brother. Always. Tears tracked. Hug bone deep forgiveness. And Marcus? If he makes you happy. Shoulder shrug concession. Healing humped slow summer. Barbecues tentative, Jake warming wary. Marcus relocated closer. Apartment shared whispers. Coming out cascaded. Mom's tearful embrace, my boy. Friends awkward high fives, evolving allies. Elmwood murmured, but resilience rooted. Fall semester synced rhythms. Me commuting college, Marcus coaching youth league, Jake's visits laced less edge, more beer-fueled bro talks. Dates unfolded tentative. Diner booths candlelit proxies, hikes ridge reclaimed, kisses deepening sans shadows. First real anniversary marked garage roof, stars witnesses. Picnic chilled wine, playlist looping our mixtape. To courage, he toasted ring simple silver promise. Not proposal but vow etched. But undercurrents stirred. Jake's girlfriend, Sarah. Wedding bells chiming spring. Bachelor bash loomed. Vegas neon temptation. And Jake pulled me aside pre-trip. Cover for me if mom frets. And bring Marcus. Make it official. Wink conspiratorial, growth glinting. Flight west shimmered unreal. Slots chiming, shows glittering. But anchor was us. Poolside lounges hand in hand subtle. Strip walks shoulders brushing bold. Jake hooped excess, but Ida soft. You too, solid. Like dad and mom used to be. Wedding day dawned desert gold. Sarah radiant lace. Jake tuxedo sharp nerves. Backyard vows under Ohio oaks. Family gathered patchwork. Mom dabbing eyes. Aunts gossiping benches. Marcus best man suited devastating. Toast heartfelt. To Jake, brother found. Family chosen. Love wins quiet. Fierce. Glass clinks sealed. Jake pulling him aside later. Thanks, man. For everything. Fist bump brothers anew. Summer swelled pregnant possibility. Marcus's pro tryout invite. Philly gym scouting. Come with? He asked porch swing, fireflies Morse code. Heart swelled, but roots tangled. Mom's diner shift solo. Jake's new house flip. Need to stand solo first. I admitted, journal filling pages resolve. He nodded understanding. Kiss ceiling temporary. His departure hollowed August. Apartment echo chamber. Texts lifeline. Miss your left hook. Training ramped vengeance. Qualifiers nationals bound. Coach crowing. State's golden boy. Jake tagged corner now. Cheers laced pride paternal. October chill bit nationals. Philly arena electric. Marcus ringside incognito hoodie. Bouts blurred brutality. Welterweights whittling field. Bruises badges. Semis snapped rib. Pain white hot. But his text pre-finals. You're unbreakable. Love you. Adrenaline alchemy. I danced ring poetry. Jab surgical, hooks thunder. TKO claiming belt gold. Podium flush victory. Metal cold fire. But eyes sought him. Marcus surging barrier. Hug crushing public now. Flashes popping unheeded. Knew it. He breathed, lips temple press. Jake hooped podium. Arms slung triumphant. That's my boys. Winter wrapped content, holidays fused families. Mom's table extended Marcus's folks via video. Detroit warmth bridging miles. Proposal perched casual Christmas morn. Ring box nestled stocking, his knee-mine carpet. Marry me, Alex? Build this forever. Tears pricked, yes tumbling breathless. Jake's grin wolf whistle. About damn time. Spring bloomed unions duel. Our courthouse quiet. Vows exchanged judge's chamber. Rings exchanged simple. Jake's reception crashed joyous. Toasts toasting brothers in arms. Hearts aligned. Dance floor swayed slow. His hand low back guide. World fading couplet. Years unfurled tapestry textured. My gym opening Elmwood modest. Kids mitten gloves learning stance. Marcus pro circuit circling globe. Homecomings reunions fervent. Jake's kids toddled ringside. Uncle Alex. Punch. Echoing legacy. Conflict crested decade mark. Scandal whisper. Rival promoter dredging Marcus's youth. Troubled past. Headlines homophobic slant. Backlash bade sponsors fleeing. But we stood tandem. Presser defiant. Past forged us stronger. Love's the real champ. Allies rallied. Jake lawyered libel. Fans flooded support. Storm broke. Rainbow arc victory. Humanity etched lines laugh wrinkled. Mom's retirement cruise we funded. Golden years glowing. Jake's midlife pivot coaching. Fields filled his fire hours. We adopted twins. Boys boisterous boxing tiny gloves. family fractal beautiful. One autumn eve, ridge overlook, leaves pyre below. Marcus's hand aged but sure in mine. Remember that first hook? He mused, wind whipping silvered hair. I chuckled, scar lip faint memory. Taught me everything. Kiss sunset sealed, courage's lesson lifelong. Love dares, betrays, redeems, human, holy. Yet twist lingered tragic tint. Cancer crept insidious, mom's diagnosis shattering spring. Hospice hushed her final months, our vigils woven tight. Jake's stories bedside, my hand hers frail, Marcus's songs soul-soothing. Passing peaceful, petals dawn, but void vast. Funeral procession, river reflect, eulogy mind trembling. She taught grace, we carry it. Grief galvanized, charity gala founded her name, scholarships spurring small-town dreams. Healing humped, but legacy bloomed resilient. Decade plus, gray threading temples, we mentored youth league tandem. Gloves laced kids queer quiet, lessons layered. Shadows pass. I'd say Marcus's nod echo. Lights the fight. Courage's arc bent unbroken. From backyard hook to lifetime ring. Love's bout endless rounds. Elmwood slumbered below. America vast quilt. Our thread vibrant weave. Looking back, that split-lip Sunday wasn't chaos's start, but catalyst. Cracking shell long calcified. Elmwood streets, once cage confining, stretched now canvas vast. Runs dawn lit, neighbors nodding knowing, rainbow flag porch proud. Jake's house abuzz grandkids, his apologies evolved anecdotes. Remember when I was the ass? Laughter leavened, bonds burnished. Marcus's career plateaued graceful. Commentator booth now, voice gravel gold calling fights, insights hard won. We'd travel tag team. Vegas verdant ringside, Philly family fused. Twins terrorized tours. Tiny tyrants demanding, Daddy's punch story. Bedtime rituals ring reenacted pillows. Giggles gales. Midlife milestone crested. Our vow renewal, decade etched. Beach California sunset. Waves whispering witness, Jake officiant beaming. Suits linen light. Rings reapplied vows refreshed. Through hooks and heartbreaks, I choose you. Dance sand scuffed, toes tangled tied. But life's jab fainted cruel. Marcus's knee buckled brutal. Old injury avenging. Surgery sidelining seasons. Rehab grueling garage echo. My wraps his wrists now. Encouragement mirrored. Your turn, champ. I tease, sweat solidarity. He rose relentless. Ring return roar thunderous. Comeback KO cathartic. Tears track triumph. Philanthropy flowered fierce. Foundation anti-bullying. Schools sponsoring courage corners. Safe spaces stories shared. Visits vivid. Teen trembling confession. I'm scared. My hand his shoulder steady. Fear's first round. You win the bout. Marcus's nod narrative. We did. Tragedy tempered twice. Twins teen tumult. One outed cruel classmates. Echoes our youth haunting. Huddle hearth heavy. Jake uncle's avuncular. Kick back harder. Counseling carved coping. Resilience ripened. Golden years gilded gentle. Elmwood bungalow hours. Porch swing creek comfort. Grandkids climbing chaos. Mom's garden bloomed bountiful. Her roses riot red our pride. One eve equinox. Ridge wreck limb arthritic but adamant. Canes clicking camaraderie. Valley verdant vista. River ribbon reminisce. Lesson learned. Marcus queried arm looped anchor. Courage isn't absence fear. I replied. Sunset symphony. It's the swing anyway. Epilogue etched quiet. Obituary ink inevitable. Marcus first. Peaceful past pneumonia. Post-fight flew fierce. Funeral fields fans, tributes towering. My eulogy echo. He walked in, taught out. Courage incarnate. Grief gale gusted. But grandkids' grips grounded. Jake's shoulders steadfast. Years your final, journal jaundiced pages progeny. To my boys, fight fair, love fierce. Legacy lingers luminous, Elmwood eternal. Courage's echo unending.